Angel here at SwissWatchExpo again, and today we're looking at my top 3 picks for Tourbillon watches. Stick around. So I'm really excited to be back with you here at SwissWatchExpo. My name is Angel, and if you've been watching some of our videos, you see I like to do my top 3. And today I wanted to do something a little more technical and show you my 3 best picks for Tourbillon watches that we have currently. I've picked a wide range of styles as well as levels of watchmaking. And if you're not familiar, tourbillons are very technical watches. The type of escapement that was created by Abraham Louis Breguet back in the early 1800s was created to counteract gravity, more so for pocket watches back then. And essentially what it is that there's the escapement and the balance wheel inside of a cage to kind of interact and counteract gravitational pull and forces to give you more accuracy in the watches. Typically, in those days, you had the pocket watch, so the watch was facing up and down, and there was a lot of different movement going on, and so you'd lose and gain time. So this was a very innovative, detailed type of watchmaking that was done back then. Now, with watchmaking, it's all about the craftsmanship. So you'll see a lot of that still happening in this day and age with a lot of very special timepieces. So today we're going to take a look at the Tag Heuer Carrera Tourbillon. We're going to take a look at the Audemars Piguet Jules Tourbillon, and then we're taking a look at the Zenith Montre de Tourbillon as well. So I'll just go in order today based on size, and we'll kind of branch out from there. First up is the Tag Heuer Carrera. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let's move over first to the Audemars Piguet Jules collection tourbillon. This watch comes in at 40 millimeters. And for a watch to have that complicated of a movement inside of it and still get to that 40 millimeter size, it is very special and takes a lot of craftsmanship to do that. This watch in particular was launched in an effort to recognize Jules Audemars, who was one of the founders and first creators of the Audemars Piguet timepieces. So the reason I chose this is because I love how they've actually shown just that tourbillon here at the bottom without showcasing any more of the movement on the dial. They really just want you to see how detailed and how exquisite this actual function is on the watch. I love this also because it has a very special treat in the crown being on the back of the case, which is probably one of the only watches that I've seen like this, where you can control all of the functions as far as the date wheel, the setting of the watch, the setting of the movement, things like that. When you turn the watch back over, you will see that you have a 52-hour power reserve that's displayed here at the 9 o'clock position, a date wheel here at the 3 o'clock, as well as the Superluminova Arabic numbers at the top of the dial. Very special watch done in the platinum. And to have something like this in your collection, this is exquisite. This is something that you won't see just anywhere. This will probably be one of the only times you see a watch like this. So take a good look at it here on the video. They've done it with the signature AP clasp here with the Audemars Piguet throughout the deployment. You can see that AP there, which is another fine detail that they use. And then, of course, you'll see the recognition of the 150-year anniversary. So beautiful, beautiful watch. A stunning movement on this one as well. So number 1 pick. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Tag Heuer Carrera Tourbillon. So the reason I chose this is because if you take a look on our website, you'll notice that this is probably one of the best priced tourbillons that you'll find, as well as out there in the marketplace with a Swiss movement. We've seen a few of these created, maybe Japanese movements, things of that nature. But to find a watch at this price point with this type of tourbillon is going to be amazing. And the one thing that I think is also important is this may actually be a watch where that tourbillon functioning may happen to work for you. If you're in racing, this watch, of course, will have the tachometer here around the outer bezel. And when you're driving, you are going to be impacted by gravity and things of that nature. So that tourbillon is really going to be a key function for you here. The movement is an in-house movement from Tag Heuer, the 02T. And also, you'll have a 60-hour power reserve. If I didn't say that before, I think that that is amazing on a watch like this. And of course, it's beautifully decorated. You could see all of the chronograph functions here on the dial. You'll have the seconds sweep. You'll also have the 30-minute counter and the hour counter as well in one of the chronograph functions here. So beautiful watch done in the titanium. You'll have the skin on the outside and then the rubber on the inside. So it makes it very comfortable. It'll last a really long time. Very lightweight, being that it's done in the titanium. I mean, this is really high watchmaking and something that you don't see typically from a Tag Heuer watch. Great combination, putting it in the Carrera series. I think that this is something that is going to be a wonderful conversation piece because people are going to wonder, they're going to notice the shape of the lugs and say, hey, that's a Carrera, but I've never seen that dial. So pick this one up today here at Swiss Watch Expo. I think you'll be absolutely pleased having this into your collection. And great way to start getting into tourbillons if you've been looking for something to get you started. And lastly, but certainly not least, it's the 48mm Zenith Montre d'Aéronef. So this watch is done in the titanium as well as the rose gold, and it will have a signature movement, the 40-35, which is specific to this watch. Of course, when you think of Zenith, you think of the El Primero movement, which a lot of different watchmakers have had in their watches in the past. They are known for their accuracy. So not only has Zenith implemented that in this watch, they've combined it with the tourbillon function, which also gives that much more accuracy. So this is the perfect watch for someone who is OCD about, you know, if we're gaining or if we're losing time, being on time, and just exquisite watchmaking. This functional watch actually has the date wheel and the minutes counter and hour counter as well. But can you believe that they've been able to house over 380 components into this watch? It's absolutely stunning. You have, of course, the Arabic numerals around the outside. The hands are what you call cathedral hands, and they will illuminate beautifully in low light situations. Very detailed, very, very beautiful. And then the large onion crown here on the side, and then, of course, the textured pushers to go ahead and deploy those functions on the watch. It's an absolutely stunning watch. I mean, if you have this, it's almost like a pocket watch as far as the size. So I think you'll love this. The highest level of watchmaking when you take a look at these timepieces. If you would like to see these in more detail, please reach out to us here at Swiss Watch Expo. Give us a call in the showroom. We'd be happy to do a quick FaceTime with you. However, I don't think we'll have these for long, especially something like the Tag Heuer Carrera chronograph here with the tourbillon functioning. So again, I'm Angel. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.